All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Chewed Up and Spit Out.
Hello, hello.
We're sitting here with our main man, Timmy,
A.K.A. the Fat Chef.
Fat Chef. We got Jeff in the corner,
This other guy.
and it's me, Dusty, as always. And we are bringing you what would technically be the second episode of Chewed Up and Spit Out right now.
Hell yeah, I'll cheers to that.
Yeah.
Buddy. Cheers, cheers.
So I'm going to go ahead and start it off with a story that will be followed by a live air revelation.
Uh-oh.
So we filmed an awesome cooking show. Hopefully most of you have checked it out already. Pros and cons. There's going to be more. We made some dank Loco Mocos the other night.
Heck yes.
Ate some Loco Mocos. Recorded quite possibly the best fucking podcast that has ever been recorded.
Spot on.
Best podcast.
Yeah, that's definitely good.
Yeah.
I don't like to live in absolutes, though, so the best is hard.
Oh, no, it was the best.
All right,
it was
the
the best podcast that has ever been recorded.
I'll agree with the best we've recorded.
And then we went to bed. And we forgot to save that podcast, Timmy. So I have to break it to you right here on the air live.
Oh, it's okay. It's still on the computer.
Are you absolutely sure on that?
I'm fairly certain. Because when I pulled up the program, there was another set of tracks set, so...
Oh, I think those were me trying to be a rapper.
Oh. Then I
Because
don't
I
know.
searced for it for like an hour. And then we
shit,
both
bummer.
just had the... And it was right when the rain started falling yesterday. So it's just like, meh.
Right
This
on.
is sad.
Well, that's a bummer. But I'll check again when we're done with this.
We might recover it.
Yeah.
And if we do recover it, then you will see it was the best fucking podcast ever recorded.
Ever.
Yeah, well, whatever. We'll figure it out. It's not the end of the world, but, shitty.
It sure put a damper on a hungover morning, though.
Hungover, rain's falling, and all of your accomplishments are fucking gone.
I mean, it's kind of like we had like the greatest like concert and just wowed the crowd, went to a great after party, but realized we left all of our instruments on stage and our fucking van got a boot on the car outside or something.
Tour got canceled.
Yeah, I heard that. Bummer, but, whatever. Like I said, it might still be there because there was a thing with 3 tracks up on the computer, but maybe not. Who knows?
We shall see.
After this.
Well, you took that a lot better than I thought was going to happen.
Oh, yeah, whatever. I was right with my assumption earlier, though, because...
I know, that was so hard not to break it to you then. I'm like, no, we've waited this long. We've got to break it on air.
You motherfuckers. That's okay, though. Hey,
I specifically would not look you in the eye during that. I just looked away and let Dusty do the talking because I can't lie directly into that face.
whatever, we'll figure it out.
It's good.
Hey, we still have the memory.
For sure.
So, Timmy, back to work.
Yes,
First
today.
day back.
Yeah, I got to scrub the shit out of an oven.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever. Well,
Hey, that's
2
something.
ovens. Yeah. And I still didn't finish it in the few hours I worked today. But whatever,
Yeah, warming back up to it,
Yeah, well, that oven was pretty jacked, so
My bad.
that's okay. I did get all the glass on the oven cleared. You can now see into the oven
That's
perfectly
just
fine.
creepy.
Yeah.
There was
So you're
glass on
gonna
the
watch
front.
stuff bake.
Yeah, you can watch it now. Although the light in the oven still doesn't work, but whatever,
Barely recall there was glass on the front of the oven.
Yeah, it was pretty much brown. But hey, whatever. It is what it is. I'm excited to at least have something to do during the day now, which is going to bring down the Pornhub habit that I've acquired in this quarantine.
Oh, geez, like looking at all the different categories. You branch out pretty good.
Yeah, well, I have definitely seen some things that I can't unsee. We'll just leave it at that.
That's fair enough. I don't need to use my imagination quite like that, so thank you for stopping.
Yeah, you don't want that. That'll be nightmares.
We don't need to know about the subset called Goat Hub.
Yeah. Well, I prefer sheep, not goats. Just
That's bad.
yeah, the horns get in the
Somebody
way.
had to
You
do
know?
that.
The horns get in the way.
Or something to hold on to. I don't know.
Oh,
Obviously, I haven't got into Goat Hub yet.
Goat Hub.
Yeah. Just sheepfuckers.com.
Sheepfuckers.com. Your number one source for all things sheep-like.
Yeah. And they're not blow-up sheep. Let me just tell you that.
You build 100 boats, but you fuck one sheep.
Yeah.
No longer are you the boat maker, just the sheep fucker.
Yep. I would not know from experience.
Never have I made a boat.
Never once have I made a boat.
I mean, it could work the other way, you know. Like you fuck 100 sheep in your life, and then you build one good boat, and all of a sudden you're a boat builder.
I'll have to try that out, you know?
Is that Noah's secret, maybe?
Noah's secret. Yeah. You fuck 100 sheep, and you build one boat.
Then you realize there's more than just sheep out there. So you build a really big boat.
A really big boat.
With that whole thing, why didn't they just like leave flies and mosquitoes off that boat? You know
They
what I mean?
probably did, but you can't leave flies and mosquitoes off of anything, dude.
Valid point, I guess.
Yeah. It's probably like, we meant to leave them behind, but it's wet. So that's why there are so many flies and mosquitoes now.
Son of a
The
gun.
Great Flood, those things just multiplied.
Well, you got to wonder what animals did not make the cut. I mean, was there a long, like, selective process to get on? I'm
That's
assuming.
actually what happened to the dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Oh,
True
there
story.
we go.
Yeah.
They were just late risers, you know? They didn't show up on time.
Everyone knows dinosaurs are notoriously lazy.
Yeah, absolutely.
I watched the 90s TV show.
I mean, have you ever seen a T-Rex try to make his bed? Holy shit.
Oh, he went there.
Yeah, absolutely, you know?
Picking on the guy with the little arms.
Well, you know, got to pick on somebody.
Gotta pick on somebody. God knows he's not picking at anything.
No, not at all.
Not picking himself out of that rock bed. We need, like, Indiana Jones and, like, archaeologists for shit like that, I guess.
Yeah, we also needed something to make oil
That's true.
and plastics, which is, you know, petroleum. Whatever, though.
That's what dinosaurs were made for.
Is it?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the purpose.
All right, I like that.
That's the divine plan. When people say the world wasn't created, what about dinosaurs? Like, well, obviously God wanted us to have gas.
There you go. And where would we be if we weren't using fossil fuels?
Yeah.
So are you fueling the fossil fuel theory?
Yeah, absolutely.
Fossil fuel theory, yeah. Yeah. Okay, so I think it's a good time that we go ahead and move right on along into our first segment, Kitchen Nightmares.
Right on.
Who's got the good nightmare for this week?
Oh, jeez. Let me think about one.
So, are we going to do a different one from the original one that may or may
That
not
may or may not exist.
exist?
You may or may not find out.
Because that could be a really silly thing if it does get found and all of a sudden it's back to back the same story.
Back to back the same. I could do one. I got a good one.
Right on.
Okay, so I find myself all of a sudden I'm in a kitchen that I worked at. It's a big hotel, and one of my least favorite, I won't name any names, but you know who the fuck you are. One of my least favorite restaurants that I've ever worked in, and I'm just getting slammed. It's me and maybe two other people in this giant fucking 3-kitchen kitchen, and I'm trying to put together this banquet, make all this food, and then at the same time I've got to work 2 different fucking dinner lines, and the place is just flooded, and finally I get pissed off, and I'm like, you know what? Fuck this. There's no one here. I need a fucking cigarette. So I storm out the back door, and I kick open the back door, and I'm on the line at the place I currently work. Walking in, and I'm fucking balls deep in tickets, and again, it's just me and one other guy, and we're just getting creamed, and there's no stopping it. I'm making shit I've never made before. And, you know, finally, after I keep pushing it and pushing it, I push out maybe, 30 fucking tickets worth of imaginary food in my fucking brain. And then finally, I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. They don't care about us. No one cares about us. I'm out. And I storm out the back door. And I'm walking out of the walk-in at one of the first, real kitchens that I got my stripes at.
Right on.
With a handful of fucking vegetables. And Jeff, this guy over here, is standing there looking at me, and he's yelling. He's like, why the fuck do you have carrots? I told you to go in there and get more fucking lettuce, not carrots. Why do you got carrots? And finally, I argue with him for a minute and then flip out and storm out of the restaurant, and that's when I wake up.
Uh-oh.
And I'm like, oh, I'm all of a sudden, awake, sweaty. And I got up and walked outside and had me a goddamn cigarette.
Right on. It's like the Groundhog Day of nightmare kitchen experiences, Did somebody at some juncture in time be like, that first step's a doozy?
Yeah. Oh, I should have paid attention to the old gypsy man that was in all 3 of those locations.
There you go, right?
God, out of one nightmare right into the other one. That's pretty rough right there.
Yeah.
But I do have one that's kind of along those lines as when you said, cooking food that you've never cooked before and things are just getting more and more frustrated. There was one where I was in a very similar kitchen. It seemed familiar, but just a little bit bigger. Instead of 8 saute burners, I had 16 saute burners. I had a couple more fryers. It's definitely a much more expansive line, I suppose. But I'm walking on, I know what's going on. Tickets are rolling in. Things are going great. But then it seemed like there's little glitches happening on the tickets that were rolling in off the POS. It seemed like they were just not in English anymore, or they say something I just didn't recognize. And I'm like, okay, that's fine, And then all of a sudden it slowly transforms more into all Spanish or all French or all Italian, or it's just weird things that didn't mesh together at all. And then all of a sudden I was starting to see orders for things that I had no idea that we had on the menu. The giraffe, a braised giraffe
Yeah,
neck.
cooked giraffe, yeah.
Exactly,
You cooked Jeffrey the giraffe, huh?
Well,
Jeff on Jeff.
Is that what happened to the Toys R Us store?
goddamn, don't get me wrong. I was busting my own balls on this one because I
Sorry.
didn't know what the fuck my menu was, But it gets more and more obscure, a hump of zebra or something like the rump of zebra, maybe, I don't know. And so I start going into the back part of the whole kitchen operation, and I turn on this corner where I see my prep cooks, and all of them are culinary school, wearing their whites and their commies and their carafes, and they just had this scared look on their face, they had no idea what they were doing, and it was very apparent they didn't. I mean, shit was just everywhere. And at that point, the back of the house, a part of the back of the house starts expanding and expanding and expanding. There are more and more stainless steel tables. There were more and more little chef commies running around asking me questions. And I just had to stop everybody at my breaking point going, okay, it's fine. It's good. It's just food. We can all cook food. Correct? Please? Something? Come on. And then I woke up just kind of crawling on my goddamn bed and what the fuck? Before my alarm, which promptly went off later. I remember that.
I heard that one.
Just a bad night off the clock.
Yeah.
That one doesn't sound like fun either. I mean, I've not had either of those dreams, but doesn't seem like a good time to me.
Yeah, shit can get dark.
Yeah, I mean,
you work enough hours, and you don't necessarily clock off when you go to sleep.
that's definitely a true statement. I've had that never-ending ticket machine dream many a times.
Oh
that
yeah,
one's never fun.
I'd imagine you were 3-job temp for a while.
Yeah, I mean, this whole COVID thing kind of fucked that up. The Rona done fucked my jobs up.
Triple
kidding.
laid off.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, Rona came around. He's like, "Yo, no, bitch, go sit down."
Take a break.
Take a break, son.
I mean, I kind of wanted this break, but I would have liked to have known about it ahead of time. And,
Organize it a little bit,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd like
prepared.
the bar to be open.
Yeah, that's the big thing. I was telling Dusty earlier, it's just a weird interlude. It's not like a weekend. It's not like a weeks-long vacation. I mean, nothing I really want to go do is open for me to go do. So I've just been stuck in a time loop, I guess. Literally Groundhog's Day, or these dreams we've talked about.
Yeah.
Ooh, so maybe this is just a dream. Are we having a collective nightmare currently with most of the world?
A super conscious nightmare, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think that could be what it is. Just one big collective bat. Everyone's going to wake up to an alarm at the same time, and it's going to be the most bonding, connecting experience ever.
You know what I need to do is spin a top or something, see if it topples over,
Oh, yeah. Inception on this.
Inception. Oh.
That didn't even
still
start
got it.
I
spinning,
didn't
so...
spin the top in the beginning, so.
Wait. There's a lighter. We can do it with a lighter. Hold on. We can do
Oh,
this.
shit.
Let's see. Is this going to stop spinning? Very quickly.
Very quickly.
All right.
You're
Super real
very
right now.
quickly shut down.
Well,
Super real.
guess that's not the case. So, shit. I'm not having the idea of waking up tomorrow and sitting at the bar and talking to some friends and doing my normal. But oh well.
Oh, well.
We should get there, or
Some version of that.
Yeah.
we'll get somewhere.
By next year,
Oh, yeah. Well, I think on that note, it's a good time for us to take a little break, and we will be back very shortly with the rest of the podcast.
Heard that, buddy.
Yep.
I'm also gonna.
All right, everybody, we're back from the fucking break, and we've had the greatest revelation ever. Timmy, the Savior, has come through and saved the greatest podcast ever recorded.
Yeah.
So,
Not only do I have the wizard beard, but the wizard touch, my friends, or maybe the big fat wizard dick. I don't know.
Oh, geez. Ladies out there, look out. But you did say there would be a revelation on air today, and I did not see that one coming. I thought that was gone.
that was some fucking. That was some Shyamalan style. That was a twist on a twist.
No
Like,
kidding.
hey, Timmy, there's no podcast. Hey, everybody, there's a podcast. Dun, dun, dun.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Game changer.
Hell yes, which made my day. So now the last 2 days I've had my day made. One, I guess, by myself. So that's kind of I don't know, satisfactory.
Is that
Buying?
like the emotional version of masturbation, just having a good day by yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. And then the other one was getting the call from work saying that, hey, guess what? You've got work now. That was
Hooray.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody's going back to work.
Yep, got the same call myself, going in on Saturday for my first time in over 30 days.
Yeah.
Jeez.
But, you know,
Slackers.
whatever.
It's like the little things I don't know are going to be, I don't know, super different. Basically, I don't know if I am at work and all of a sudden I just got to take a leak, if I could hold it for like another 3 hours like I usually do at work, you know? Usually like when you have to take a leak, you kind of like fucking like, okay, I'll get around to that. But now, like, since I've had freedom of pissing ability, I'm like, well, if I have to go, I probably just have to go. you know?
Yeah, absolutely. You don't just start another task and then 2 hours later be like, holy shit, I really got to go pee now.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Now, see,
this
here's
is
the-
happening a little
here's
bit
the
in my
thing,
pants,
though.
you know?
The thing with going back is coming from a guy who's been I've still been at the spot.
Oh, yeah.
I've still been cooking. I've still been making food. This whole world, even though people are getting to go back to work, I'm willing to bet we still got at least like another month to 3 weeks left of this awkwardness
Oh,
where
absolutely.
it's still the way it is. So in that case, it'll be like the opposite. You'll have someone looking at you like, do you want to go take a piss? I just pissed like half an hour ago. I don't have to piss. I mean, you can go take a piss if you want. I just ate a cheeseburger. Did you eat a cheeseburger?
Yeah, have you called your mom today?
Have you called your mom today?
The thing that's going to be really weird is trying to stay 6 feet apart at all times.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how that one necessarily works, but whatever.
Mhm.
6 feet behind you.
Yeah,
6
right.
feet behind you.
That'll be a whole different story when you're calling behind.
Exactly.
Although we don't have enough room on the
Behind.
hotline part, you know?
I don't think any place does.
Yeah, right? Hey, hold on. Nobody see this. I got to go past this person. No, you go out first, and then I will follow you out.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to break the rules. But I mean, honestly, you also have to. That's why my thing too. I felt was very easy for me to keep going, because a lot of it is you have to weigh, like, who you're working with, because you're inevitably, if they're the type of person that's out there and like they've got it, and you're working with them, none of the rules really matter. Like, you're going to end up giving it to each other just by trying to expedite the process of
Kind
getting
of
out
like
food.
herpes, you know?
Exactly. Yeah. Herpes is like it's herpes at a sex party. Like, you might not fuck them, but you're both at that same sex party,
Oh.
so you are getting herp for sure.
That's a shitty,
Yeah.
well, next, I don't know, week
Yeah.
later, however long it takes to show
And
up.
I
don't
poked
know.
holes in all the condoms, so they'll do nothing for you.
Jeez.
Who wears those? Sailors, that's who.
Exactly.
Smarter than us.
Or at least they should, you know?
They should. They probably don't, but they probably should.
Yeah,
honestly,
going
I think
port to port,
sailors.
you dirty
yeah.
fucking motherfucker.
Do you think it's in their commissary, like on the ships?
On the ships. Ship bathrooms are just like fucking bar bathrooms. There's a condom dispenser for $1 on the wall.
I'll have to ask my brother.
There you go. Can you call him up? Shit, I'm kind of curious.
I mean, I could. However, we've yet to figure out how to make it go through the computer and have them hear what we're saying at the same time.
That's a Sunday step. We're gonna figure that out this Sunday.
But, okay. We'll try to
I don't
figure out
know
how to
when
do
the
that.
podcast will drop, but we're gonna figure this shit the fuck out.
That'll be fun.
Yeah,
That'll definitely increase guess.
yeah.
If we haven't proved we're incompetent at technology so far, we'll be sure to prove it on Sunday.
Absolutely.
That we will. Because yeah, I got a guy. We got a
Ooh.
guest.
Yes.
Yeah. So we'll have, and if you're here too, that'll be the three of us
Heard
plus
that.
one asshole.
There you
Talk
go.
about some fucking food shit and stuff. He's doing yoga.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
That's,
bearded
fun.
beer yoga, I like to call it, because he's got a fat beard.
Gotcha. I
Yeah.
like beards.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're easy to maintain.
I prefer goatees.
Yeah. I did have to rock a goatee for a little while, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I worked corporate, and they wouldn't let me have an actual beard.
Oh, that's lame.
Yeah.
That is oppression.
Yeah.
Right there. That needs to stop. Another thing, okay, beard oppression is, and it's two things, and no one's gonna care about it because no one at all is getting killed. It is not on the top list of like oppressions.
Oh, yeah.
Like, but yeah, beard oppression, and the second biggest one is smoker oppression. And
That
I
was
don't
huge.
mind. I don't mind smoking. Like you can tell me no smoking. I feel like that's a legit thing to say. You can't tell my cat no smoking, but you can tell me no smoking. You know, and I'll understand. I'll smoke over there. I've got to go stand in an alley 3 doors down and look directly at a wall while I smoke. Okay, I'll do that. But if you say no smokers, like, come on, man, now you're hating. And
Yeah.
and you know, like you could say like, well, smoking is, you know, it's a thing you get into and, you know, it's a choice you make at some point in your life. And even though it's an addiction, you get carried away with it and all that.
Sure.
And everyone knows that. Like, I'm not saying it's the same as like trying to turn someone away by race, but I am saying it's the same as looking at someone and being like, sorry, no fat people.
I just agree there, too.
It is a form of discrimination. There's no way around
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I've worked in kitchens that don't allow you to smoke, and actually that's why at work I don't smoke. It's kind of weird. I mean, there's a few times at work where it's like I'm really stressed and
Yeah.
I got to go take a second, but for the most part, I won't smoke while I'm at work, just from
Yeah.
working in places that didn't allow you to. So,
Yeah. I mean, I've worked at places where you couldn't smoke there, but I've never worked at places where you couldn't be a smoker.
well, absolutely. But the thing with that though is, how do they actually prove that necessarily?
Exactly. But
that.
out
They
of
can smell it on you.
principle.
They can smell it on you. They can smell it on you.
I
Out
guess,
of principle.
but I would,
It's like if you were a quarter. Okay, I'm about to take this way too far. I'm about to take this way too far. We're crossing all the
Buckle up,
lines.
here we go.
Buckle up. Here we go.
All right.
It's like if you were a quarter fat guy.
Oh, all right.
It was gonna be worse. and say, you know, you worked at a place and it was very invisible. Like you're a quarter fat guy. You're chiseled, right? But you just got like your inner thighs are just exactly like they are now. Just the rest of you is like me. You know? And so it's like you're a fat guy. No, the place you work at,
Ostrich
you go to work
motherfucker.
at a place and they're like, no fat, you know, no fat people.
Yeah.
And even though they can't tell because you're not skies out while you're there, but
Well,
you're
that might be a new idea at work.
yeah. But I think out of principle,
No, I
I
feel
would
ya.
still have that where I would be like, you know, sure, there's no way you could prove it, but you know what? Fuck yourself.
no, I feel you on that.
I'm only fat when I eat, okay?
Hunched over a trash can, mowing things down as quick as possible.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Spewing breadcrumbs while you're trying to fucking defend your honor.
Yeah, Jeff's been eating like that at home just to still get the feel. We got a table and chairs and plates and
Oh no, hot dog smash over the kitchen sink. You know, it's fucking great.
There you go. I mean, that is definitely something that gets relatively ingrained.
yeah,
Is the quick bite as quick as you can,
as quick
Yeah.
as you can eat whatever you can eat, put it in your fucking face hole.
and always leaving stale fries for the front of house staff.
Of course.
That was my OG move in the first kitchen I ever worked in. And it was the first thing I learned about taking a speedy break. Because they only allowed me a short amount of time. Basically, it was the time it took to walk around the building. So I got the ability to grab a slice of pizza and walk out the front door and finish the slice by the time I rounded the corner. So I could light a cigarette and burn down the cigarette before I walked back around to the backside.
That doesn't sound like a break or any sort of rest at all.
Yeah. Then pop back into the backside, like, ooh, good break. Wash the hands. I came back here to grab plates.
Yeah, absolutely.
Olympic style marathon consumption right there.
Exactly.
You got to pace your breaths during that. Being an avid smoker at this job, I've just like having 2 cig breaks a day. One, lunchtime, and the other one, if I really need it, is going to be like around like that 3 o'clock drag where you got like an hour, so you finish up all your projects. And I like to have that one cigarette that adjusts me over into like the cleaning mode, basically, to where like, okay, the rest is just breaking things down, cleaning. I'm not like all anxious and pissed off and trying to do a shitty job,
Yeah, it keeps you from yelling at people.
Yeah. A little Nick fix. I mean, come on, mellow out, do your job.
You ever worked with somebody that uses those snuff things? So gross.
It is pretty gross. However, I know there's been maybe 4 shifts in my career where I knew I was hopping online and I knew I was not get offline until maybe 12 hours later, something like that. Like, I just know it's not foreseeable. Say it's like one memorable time dusting down a St. Paddy's Day in an Irish-themed like gastropub. We knew we were there from open to close. We closed it down the night before, so we knew what we were walking into, and it's like, okay, it's going to be balls to the wall. And we did open and close straight up. 1 dishwasher for lunch, 1 dishwasher for dinner times, whatever. Only 52 seats, I think, in that place. But on that day, I knew we weren't getting off the line, so yes. I utilized 1 snuff packet in the AM and 1 in the PM,
Well, I guess you got to do what you got to do, but man, it's not for me. I mean, I guess it's a whole lot better than if you were to actually like dipping. That'd be so gross.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Not dipping on the line. That's pretty fucking gross.
Yeah. I don't know if I can't recall if I've ever worked with somebody that actually did that, but man, that would not be a good thing.
Sorry, cat's eating the cords over there.
trying to get electrocuted.
Yeah, that's a fucking
Our cat is suicidal.
thoroughly
Suicidal. And thanks to this COVID thing, we're not able to do this in our studio.
That is
We've got a studio
existing right now.
Yeah, this is the green room, right?
Yeah, this is the green room. And now we pulled down the green curtain. This is the living room.
Oh, shit, fuck.
So I've got a kind of odd topic that kind of fucks with me all the time, and that's like I forget what I want to call it, but you go into the walk-in and your mind is erased.
Oh yeah.
The Men in Black alien syndrome.
Yeah, we're the walk-in.
I think it was. I don't remember if it was you, Jeff, that had the best cure for it that I've ever heard. And it doesn't work with some stuff, but with some stuff, the trick is put a little piece of it in your mouth when you run into the walk-in
yes.
for it.
That
So
was
like
me.
the last carrot when you're running for carrots, put that into your mouth. So when you get into the walk-in and you're like, "What the fuck am I going in here for?" You're like, "What is that? Oh, carrots. That's what I need.
Telling you, it's straightforward.
Spinach,
I guess
basil."
that would work.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm always the asshole that walks in there and forgets completely what I went to get and just brings out a pound of butter because you always need more butter.
Yeah, there we go.
Who doesn't
Good
need
cover.
more
Good
butter?
cover.
And at least that way you don't look like a total jackass, just like walking back to your station and being
Uh-huh.
like, I needed carrots because we're going with carrots right now. But, fuck the butter.
The
Right.
butter. Bring out a pound of butter. Let it soften. Tell them you can make that into a thing too. I'm letting it soften.
So also on butter, which is kind of funny, I worked with this pretty creepy Italian chef. He was probably, I was like 16, maybe even 15 at the time. So his age is hard to judge because he could have been 45 or he could have been 65. I'm a fucking little shitty 16-year-old kid. So the difference between 45 and 65 aren't all that much, but he was definitely probably more in his 50s. But he used to tell me that the reason that you always want to have unsalted butter isn't because you can control the salt content. It's if you ever get in a jam and you need to have anal sex, it works great for lubrication.
Whoa. Hey, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Italian lubricant.
Apparently
Butter.
so, yeah. Just in case you need to know that, that way it doesn't burn, apparently.
So I worked with an Italian chef, Fangulo, we called him. And he was a total asshole, piece of shit. Didn't really know how to cook.
See, my
but-
chef was awesome.
Yeah.
Just a creep.
This guy, the only thing he had going for him was he was Italian.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, that was his claim to fame. Like, why do people think you can cook? Because I'm Italian.
Wow.
But anyway, he left. He brought all the butter out, and this is in Texas.
Okay.
And I worked there, and I put all the butter away in the walk-in, like through the freight order, and I was the sous chef at the time. Then he comes and starts fucking yelling at me about putting the butter in the walk-in. And I was like, dude, you've got to do that. And he's like, no, you don't. I was like, well, you can soften butter, but like, you definitely don't want to just leave.
Oh, yeah.
the butter
25-pound case of butter.
Yeah,
Just chilling.
in Texas in the summer.
I mean,
Oh,
I guess
fuck,
if
yeah.
you were a baker, you might want to do something like
Yeah.
that because you're going to use 25 pounds of butter, and you want it to be softened. But
He left it out in a Cambro after
Ooh.
yelling at me, made me move it to a Cambro and leave it out. And then the next day, it was summertime in Texas, too. So
Yeah.
next day, we get in and that Cambro's half full of melted butter.
oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just raging. And then the health inspector comes in.
Right on
tells
time
him-
as always.
Yeah, right on time as always. And tells him, that he can't do that. And he starts raging, getting on me, getting at me, and like, this is fucking stupid. You stupid fucking American cunts don't know anything about fucking cooking, and you got to put your butter in the walk-in. I was like, well, how often does it clock in at $1.10 in fucking Italy, man?
Yeah,
Like, I could see, like, if you're in a good place with good butter, then it's a different story than if you're in, like, Texas with fucking Cisco-licious brand butter and it's 110 fucking degrees when you wake up in the morning. Like,
yeah.
you need to put that butter somewhere else.
Yeah, not only that, but in my experience in Texas, there were a lot of pesky little beans running around,
Oh,
at their
that place had rat problems like crazy.
Oh,
They had
jeez.
tunnels through the wall that we had to block up, and still it was like no matter what we did, it were just fucking. There was like a giant fucking Texas size, big old Texas tea fucking rat nest under the neighbor's thing, and a 100-year-old brick wall standing in between them and the fucking food in our restaurants.
Oh, yeah, that's not going to last very long.
Well, every time we'd plug a hole, we'd just find a new hole in the wall. Like,
See, that's how I like to live.
yeah.
It's like that's probably just Splinter, like training in some Ninja Turtles or something,
Oh god, yeah. That's a lot of splinters and no turtles because they fucking have eaten the turtles.
Jesus. Absolutely on that one.
Fucking secret of Nim shit going on.
Oh, man, I used to love that movie as a kid.
Never made it through that one. I don't think I
What?
even started. No.
Really? Well, I'd say that's something to do, but normally when I watch movies I liked as a child, they're pretty bad. now.
It's good for a cartoon. It's super
Yeah.
dark. Jeff doesn't dig cartoons though.
What?
Jeff
not
doesn't
so
dig
much.
any animation. It's pretty much South Park is
Really?
the only animation.
And that's
What about Rick and Morty?
don't really care for it.
Fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you too. I mean, it just doesn't hold my attention.
Exactly. America, the only non-Rick and Morty fan in the world, sitting across the
All right,
table.
that just ruins my chance to run for president.
All right,
Fuck.
what about The Simpsons?
That was fun when I was like 14.
You don't like The Simpsons?
I'm not gonna go out of my way if there's. I can't even remember the last time I even watched The Simpsons.
Well, neither can I, but I still love The Simpsons. I'm gonna tell Raj. He's gonna be so mad at you.
I'm not hating on The Simpsons. Raj, I'm not hating on The Simpsons. You know me? I would never hate on The Simpsons, okay? But no, I'm not fucking hating on The Simpsons here.
All right, whatever. That's fine. All right, I'll leave it alone.
yeah.
But I'm also terrified of what that old unicorn movie, Legend. It had Tom Cruise in it. I believe his first one.
Mm-hmm.
That one still scares the shit out of me. I cannot make it through that. That's not a children's fucking movie at all
New
whatsoever.
idea for a nightmare for Jeff.
I thought you were gonna say old gypsy women. And I was going to agree. I am terrified of old gypsy women.
Well, you don't want to fuck them over because
Well, you've met my
for
mom.
life.
Dude, do you think I can get any thinner?
Jeez.
You think it's going to work?
Nah, shit, if that's the case, I need to find me one of them and get them angry.
Please stop.
But then I won't be the fat chef anymore.
She'll just be the thinner chef.
Yeah, then I'll be the
The not
saggy
so
skin
fat
chef.
chef.
Uh-huh.
Then I'll be the
Yeah.
saggy skin chef because I'm already fat.
Jeez.
Look what I could do.
Saggy skin chef.
You wanted palm fronds, but you got a skin flap.
You should have skin flap. Anytime someone offends you, just slap them with like 7 inches worth of titty fat. Just fucking
I know.
ah.
Swing like the bottom of your
Titty
biceps
skin.
at him.
Yeah,
Yeah, that could be a fun new game show.
they could.
Jesus.
I don't know what the point is, other than we're sucking the fat out of people and leaving all the skin and making them fight.
Yeah, that could work.
Fat people fighting
I mean, that happens.
when they're skinny, so it's not mean. See, it would be mean if we had fat people fight as fat people, but
Like
if we
sumo
have them fight
wrestlers?
as skinny people with all the skin,
What about sumo wrestling?
Well, like
That's fat guys fighting fat guys.
well,
Yeah.
that's foreign though, and
Or
it's
wrestling,
classy.
I guess.
Fat guys fighting fat guys.
I mean, on
is-
a premise of what sumo wrestling pretty much is two fat guys in diapers fighting each other.
I hope Hacksaw Jim
Yeah, it's
Duggan
kinda
hears
fun.
this and gets mad at me.
Who is this?
Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
I don't know who that is, but okay.
Just all overweight and old. Fuck you, fat guys can't wrestle.
I got one more fight left in me. And I'm
Go
gonna prove it to you.
Yeah. Oh my God. I'm not saying that I would wrestle, but Hacksaw, if you're listening, I would be interested in doing that.
Here comes a 2x4. I know he's looking at it in his
I'm gonna
closet
get the
right
shit
now.
kicked out of me. I know it, but I would even train. I would do like 11 push-ups instead of 10.
Ooh, get that one more.
Get that one. Get that one.
I definitely got 2 nickels on Hacksaw.
Oh yeah. I mean, please, for the family's sake, bet on Hacksaw, not on me.
His 2x4 is bigger than you are. You know?
That would be the thing that would ruin the match. I'd be like, oh, this is awesome. It's gonna suck, but one of my childhood heroes is about to kick the shit out of me. And you come up and you're like, Dusty, we know you can do it. I just pawned your Xbox, PlayStation, and TV and put all that money on you.
Go ahead, buddy.
I don't want to do this anymore.
Jeez. Yeah. That'd be a tough day to, well, see Dusty's face making that decision.
See, I still don't know who Hacksaw is, but that's okay.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan,
Yeah.
WWF, back when they still held that fucking F strong.
Exactly. We're talking late 80s here, you know?
Yeah.
Mid to 8 at least. He's probably around since the fucking early 70s, but
He hit people with a 2x4.
That's
a
good.
2x4.
Right on. They made a movie kind of like that with John Trujillo, I think. Or no, The Rock did it in a movie.
Walking Tall.
Yeah.
Man.
There you go.
But the Rock's so big, that was a 4x4. It just looks like a 2x4.
Nah,
When I saw how they did that, I was like, oh my God, that would kill people. It is such a big piece of wood to hit you in the head.
yeah, no kidding. Like the comparison of a 2x4 to The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, you know, that's basically like this size of can, you know, versus this size of can, you know.
Yeah.
Jeez.
It's like, I gotta take them down. They've killed a few people and run some drugs. Like, dude, you just hit 47 people in the head with a fucking 4x4. I guarantee at least 30 of them are gone. And the rest are for sure getting brain damage.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, that guy might not have survived, but he now shits himself and only says the alphabet. That's the rest of his life. A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Yeah.
Do you remember when you used to run drugs? No, 4x4.
That just reminds me of a night after heavy drinking, you know?
Yeah, no kidding.
I can still at least count 10 fingers. God forbid I take off the shoes and try to count to 20.
Yeah. It still takes me 2
10
hands. to
fingers
take
is
10.
the adult children's game for hangovers. One little finger, two little finger.
I figure if I could slip on my boxers without falling over, it's going to be a start to a good day, you know?
Yeah, see, I just jump into pants and boxers, you know?
I put my
Both
pants
feet at
on
the
just
time.
like everyone else.
See, not me. I go both feet at one time, not one foot at a
I
time.
don't use any feet.
One
I go
leg.
over the top.
There you go. You got
Just scribble way on through.
Velcro on the back.
I dislocate a shoulder so I can fit a hand and shoulder through a leg. It takes me about 4 hours to put on a pair of jeans.
It's like a chick putting on her jeans.
Yeah, and they're inside out. So once they get to the waistline, I just gradually roll them down, relocate my shoulders so I can help with the roll.
Pulling one side with a pair of pliers stuck in your mouth.
Yeah, it's a whole process.
Yeah, that should be filmed at some point.
Put my jeans on just like everyone else.
Outside. With nothing else on but your socks.
Nothing else on but my socks. That's how you guys put your pants on, right?
Yeah. Or at least people might try now. It's like that Tide Pod challenge, but putting your underwear on over your head, but making it work.
I'm just saying, if anyone can put 10 Tide Pods in their butt, they deserve to be commended.
Yeah.
Is that your retirement plan?
No, I'm just saying, if there was no challenge for that, I issue that challenge to the internet, and I will take all the heat that comes with that.
The Tide Pod challenge.
10 Tide Pod Keister challenge.
Yeah.
Heard it
Get
first.
that prison wallet working, you know?
Keep that prison wallet working.
Or at least clean it up a little, you know?
Yeah, well, Tide Pod that shit out, man. It's actually called a flush, and it's healthy.
That's an enema that most people won't want to try.
No, not really. I don't even want to think about this. Jesus, fuckers. I thought it was a nice civil, like a family show we were having here.
A nice civil family show. Everything's a nice civil family show till someone starts putting Tide Pods up their ass.
It'll be like that chubby bunny, but a little bit different. You know, you're not putting them in your mouth. Ooh.
Oh,
I was thinking about like that movie Human Centipede. Like, can we like do the Tide Pods in the mouth thing at the same time?
Oh, there
oh,
you
you
go.
ever heard the bashful bunny joke?
I don't know. I don't think so.
The tattoo of a bashful bunny.
No. Or maybe. I don't know.
Okay, so Jeff's got a tattoo of a bashful bunny on his ass.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
No. No. No.
I guess I'm the only one that doesn't know this joke.
No, so basically you tell him that, and then when you go to, like, you know, pull it down, like you'd be showing him a tattoo just like on your ass cheek, you pull out the whole ass and bend over, and then you say, oops, he must have went back in his hole.
He was scared.
He was
Okay.
I told you he was bashful.
I got you.
Oh.
Right on. I mean, that could get a couple
Not going to go
chuckles.
through with that. And also, after tacos, there might be some gas issues.
You give that would be give Timmy pink eye on air. That, folks, is actually how you get pink eye.
There you go.
He said he's going back to work.
Yeah, don't fart on my pillow. Just right up
Straight
the eye.
your eye. What? I gave him a 2-foot berth. That fart had power, man. That shook the couch.
There you go.
And you're sitting on the chair.
Felt that one through the floor.
Oh, Jesus.
Not this early in the evening. And we're drinking the soft drinks, not the hard liquors, so
Man.
It's almost 8.
word.
Well, man, it's good to hear you guys are going back to work, getting back into your
Boom.
kitchens.
Hells yeah.
And I think that's a good time to push on to the next little segment there.
Yeah, right
Kitchen worst.
on. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we talked about some bads, but what's your kitchen worst for the week?
Well, nothing for the week. I've not been
Well, I
in my
mean, not
kitchen.
from the
I
week, but
understand. I'm just being an
your
asshole.
pick from your history of life. You've got what, like a year and a half in the kitchen?
Yeah,
Two?
just maybe a year and a half. I started when I was, 33.
Yeah, I'm excited to make my first year.
I used to be
finally.
a software engineer.
Yeah.
a oil tycoon, and a pilot.
Oh, I was a real estate mogul, a spaceman, and a cowboy.
Ooh,
So I know how
You
you
were a
feel.
space
And
cowboy.
eventually you get to the point where you're like, everyone keeps comparing me to Tommy Lee Jones. And sure, Tommy Lee Jones took me under his wing and everything. But, like, is that the life you want to live? So I sold everything, moved into this tiny apartment with
Yeah.
Jeff Kim, 2 cats, and a dog.
yeah, I had a really sideways marriage, so she took everything, and it just ruined me. So,
Well, that's why you don't get married on your sides. You do it standing up like everyone else.
well, I don't like to be like everyone else. So I learned that one the hard way. Lost my millions, my oil tycoon, my software engineering job. I forgot the other one that I said. And I decided that I wanted to, work in kitchens because I like, standing for 16 hours a day in the hot with a bunch of, strange people.
I do it because it's more glamorous.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, being a space cowboy was cool, but being a line cook at a regular establishment in the back is just that is glamour.
Gets all the chicks, I'm sure.
Oh, it's got yeah. It's got the one for me. That's worked. So
Yeah, I've put some serious thought into the whole NASA thing, and I called them a bunch over and over.
oh yeah, my folks at NASA have said, please stop harassing us, Jeff.
Well, if that's them, that's nice. Take me to your leader style. Like, who's your boss? Let me talk to them. I still have them on speed dial, but yeah, it just isn't working out so well.
And the
so
funny thing is, you probably do have it set to a speed dial button.
well, yeah.
He's so old, he still uses speed dial.
Yeah, right. Well, all right.
Hey
back to-
Siri, how do I work my speed dial?
Press 1, you fucker. I wish she was a more like she's Australian, but I kind of wish she was a more cheeky, sassy Australian.
That's true. There should be like a PG-13,
Like little tweaks that you can
Yeah.
have on Siri. Like Siri's now in cheeky, sassy Australian.
That would actually be a really fun idea if anybody from Apple would possibly be listening. Maybe have it set so you can have like a bunch of different
always
ones. Well, that's true. I do have a phone in my pocket, so
Definitely.
Hey, you got an Apple phone. I got a Google phone. She's got Amazon Prime. Jeff works for the CIA
and NASA.
and NASA.
Well, yeah.
Well, he's trying to get a job, but
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in the paperwork, I'm sure.
yeah.
Well, back to kitchen worst. I did it last time, so I think somebody else should. But I mean, I can tell you one if you.
Go for it. Yeah, we all took a run. I think we should all take a run.
Oh yeah, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
Forgot about that one. So another one of the worst ones that I've had to deal with.
Hi,
I
camera.
kind of got lucky, but it would have been a really awful night. So I put in a whole shift, a good 8 hours, and right as I'm leaving, the owner comes in, and the grease trap just backed all the way the fuck up. Like there was greasy, smelly, gross water all over the basement, and I started to go and get it all cleaned up. This is when I'm working 3 jobs still. And luckily, the owner was like, this guy has to work early in the morning. I'm not going to make him stay. But that literally would have been a shitty night because I'd already put in like probably 14 hours that day. And that was definitely a cleanup job for another 4 hours.
Yeah.
And yeah, raw sewage type backup smelling stuff is just not something I want to do.
It's just not good on the stomach.
Yeah.
So I had a similar mentioning the grease trap scenario. So it was at a wine bar I worked at in Texas, same place where I met that Italian chef. But
Nice.
huge spot. I think we had over 100 seats. But it's Friday night, about 5:30. We fill up, and we start going, and out of nowhere, I hear from the dishwasher that nothing's draining. The dishwasher at that time may or may not have also been my wife, who was sitting on the couch behind us. But so we look into it and we try to get everything done that we can, and nothing can be done.
Yeah.
So we end up in this situation where it's like it has to get professionally, like it's the grease trap down the way, like down the way is plugged. So we have to get a professional in to do it tomorrow morning. But it's Friday night and the restaurant's full.
Yeah.
And we can't turn away all those people. And so I talked to the owner, and I sat there and I went over it with the owner. I think at the time I was the head chef too. So I sat down and I talked with the owner and explained to her, I'm like, listen, no dishes can get washed. Like we can still wash our hands, but like there's no situation here where dishes come back.
Yeah, or saute pans.
Yeah, and she was like, well, you know, what can we do? Should I close the doors and tell everyone to go away? Like, there's reservations that people have made for weeks, like a wedding party that we had booked for that night. And I looked at her and I was like, no, we're just going to change the game.
Uh-oh.
Every order, the expo is going to relay to you guys exactly what is left that can be done.
Oh,
and
man.
we're going to use all of the dishes that we have in house until we were out of dishes. We made it until 10 minutes from closing
Oh, well, hey,
before
almost
we
there.
finished. We had, because we found, we had all of our catering plates and catering dishes, and saute
Jesus.
pan wise, they let me go to town because I think I had a 12 burner saute station.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a good, probably 80 pans.
Right on.
And we blew through all 80 pans and pans of various different sizes. I recall someone even making,
Get the rondo.
yeah, no, someone made, what was it? I think it was either the spaghetti and meatballs or Alfredo in a fucking rondo.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Whatever you can to get through, you know?
Yeah.
All right, we're out of pans. Use a 6-pan in the oven. Make it work.
Yeah. And so yeah, we got through it, but the way that it compares with the gnarliness is we got through it and we finished, and you know, it was all said and done. But Saturday we had a shortened shift typically,
Oh, yeah.
and so it was all the same people that were working that night were on the all day shift tomorrow. And so we finished, we all sat down in the front room and had a drink. And then, yeah, the next day we showed up and we spent 6.5 hours in the dish pit
Yep.
before we could even start prepping. And we didn't, I think we ended up opening for 2 hours of service, but it was still a solid 2 hours because we opened between 5 and 7.
Right on.
And that, you know, was the crushing it time, but yeah.
That's still rough. Like whenever a kitchen equipment failure goes down, particularly when you're used to having really banging shifts, you know, it just goes somewhere you don't want to be, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, granted, it's nothing like close to a kitchen worst, but at the place that we've worked at before, we've had a big dough machine go down to where we have to run like batches of dough, like, you know, prep dough kits basically to other kitchens, borrow their mixers to whip up a couple of big old batches of dough, come back and portion that out. There's like a full day, like a ordeal for somebody, you know.
Yeah, that shit sucks.
I mean, somebody that was basically their job is, okay, you're on pizza dough, and it's just going to be a pain in the dick, you know. So,
Yeah, that is no fun. And,
yeah.
hey, but you get nice with another restaurant, you know?
Well, that's
Yeah.
true. You get to socialize a bit.
Go see a whole different crew.
And get in their way the entire fucking time.
Yeah.
Awesome. It sounds like the best fun.
Yeah, absolutely the best fun. But whatever.
And you know, people who don't work in have never worked in restaurants ask me why the comparison is always made between pirates and cooks. I'm like, it's because we are all just, it's like exactly the same type of mentality as far as situationally, like, you know, like we're all regimented through the cooking structure like soldiers would be, but in a very loose way. Whereas,
Absolutely.
like, we were taught the regiment and then we were thrown out on our ass to fend for ourselves.
Oh, yeah.
And every
Sink
kitchen,
or swim. Sink or swim.
yeah, every kitchen, even though we're all on the same, you know, cooking team, every kitchen is its own fucking pirate ship, and every crew is its own fucking crew. And sometimes, it's like we're all on the cooking team, but our kitchen's going to show up to your kitchen's bar and kick the shit out of your kitchen.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're going to show up and initiate a fight. And that's pirate shit if I've ever heard it right there.
That's true. International waters right there.
We sing shanties and shit too.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Depends on how much the jukebox is and how good it is.
Although I really don't drink rum, but whatever.
Well, that's because you're a pussy.
Yeah, I guess so.
Coming from the guy who can't drink liquor anymore.
Who's that? You?
Me. I can't drink liquor anymore.
Why?
Because I'm a pussy.
Okay. Well,
Finally.
that one works out, I guess.
4 years, ladies and gentlemen. She's not even admitted it.
I don't know.
I remember that last night. I believe it was a Halloween. And you were stuck in a Denny's bathroom for a while.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, yeah. I was stuck in the parking lot for a while, too.
and stuck in the van for a while.
I
Yeah.
was stuck in the van for a while. And then I was stuck in the bathroom for a while. And then, no, it just, it doesn't do good with my stomach.
Nah, right on.
And I've had that was my last time to tempt fate. But even like Jeff said, that's over 5 years ago now.
Yeah.
That's
4,
an
5,
insane
something.
amount of time. Yeah. But even before that, it was a few years. And I had tried it. But yeah, something with my stomach where, like, it just
Right
doesn't
on.
dig the liquor. But I can drink all the beers.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
feel you on that one. I mean, speaking of drinking beers, I got to piss like you wouldn't believe.
Well,
I've been trying to hold this fucker back for, quite some time, but,
I thought you were just getting into the show, Timmy. You
Yeah,
know,
no,
getting
that
all
was-
squirmy over there.
That's the pee-pee dance.
well, I guess Timmy's doing the pee-pee dance. It's a good time for our second break.
All
We'll be
right.
back with the third part in a second.
All right, right on.
For sure.
So we're back for the final segment, the garnish of the podcast.
There you go.
Nice.
And so let's talk about keep it on a positive note for the final. What's good in life?
What's good in life? I think we kind of already got that one in the beginning. The fact that,
We found that fucking podcast.
well, yeah, that one's one, but I was kind of saying more the fact that I have something to do during the day other than,
yeah.
Yeah, people are going back to work, and we found the podcast slightly
Yeah.
more important.
yeah, absolutely, I guess.
Yeah. How do you guys feel about the whole situation though of people going back and getting released back into the real world and whatnot? Do you feel? I mean, you both seem like pretty not give a fucksy kind of guys, but like, do you feel cool with that or?
I mean, I'm fine with it, but I can see some of the reasons why it'd be a little bit looked down upon. I mean, because I don't care if I was to catch this, but I wouldn't want to like somehow give it to like my boss that has a young kid. Like that would be a horrible thing.
Yeah.
Because I'd feel really
Yeah.
bad for the kid, not for my boss, whatever. But I wouldn't want his kid to get something.
The more
you know?
susceptible people, you know.
Yeah, old people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, and that's why I canceled. I had a trip planned to go back home in May for my birthday, but I canceled it because I have my brother who has a 2-year-old daughter and a pregnant wife. So I was like, I'm not going to risk that because I have to fly to get there. So
Yeah.
it's just not worth the risk on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it hurts. So I think in the whole phasing out thing, that's probably the way to go, or phasing back into it, I suppose.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're talking a very small select few going back and just easing that in and seeing how things go, yes. Do I think there's going to be a second wave of some sorts? Yes, but I don't think it's going to be nearly as detrimental as the Spanish flu was in the 19.
Oh God,
you
no.
know,
No.
yeah. I mean, it's mainly because we have better staff, we're
I mean,
better
yeah.
prepared, we're better
The,
trained.
the
even
respirators back in the Spanish flu days were like fucking billows that you used to fucking pump a fire. Like, yeah.
So-
Medical science has come a long way. And we thank those people for that.
You had
though,
to have
absolutely,
a
absolutely.
Hodor, but it'd be a. I can't think of a way to say hoe pump.
Hoe pump?
Well, that wouldn't really work,
A hoe
but-
pump sounds like something totally different. I got
Yeah,
this
but-
hoe pump
yeah.
over here. That's just a blow up doll. Yeah, but I'll let you fuck it
So-
for $5. So now it's a hoe pump.
All right, so I guess what I really should have
It's
said
not a
is
retired pimp.
you need yourself a must pump.
A must pump. That sounds even dirtier, man.
Yeah, this
Yeah, I
is-
know. I don't know. I can't come up with a good
Yeah.
one.
That sounds like slang for douche.
Well, whatever. I was trying to sneak
Yo,
in a
homie,
little-
it smells like berries in here. Your girl hitting that muff pump?
No, not muff. Must.
Must pump? That's even worse. That's even worse.
Well,
It's a male douche.
Jeez.
Manscaping's for men. Try the new must pump.
Horrible.
It's a butt douche.
Oh, yeah.
Just cut straight to the point. It's a butt douche.
That's how they used to do enemas back in the day.
You know a lot about enema. Have you studied enemas over your time in quarantine?
Yeah, it's been a new hobby of mine.
Oh, well. It's good to have a hobby.
It's
You
actually
thinking about going professional with it?
potentially,
Righto.
but that camera stopped working.
I just saw that too. We're back. That was some fucking shit right there.
Poltergeist, I think.
Yeah, there was definitely some Geist. A little bit of Geist
Well, here's this
action going down.
Struggle of trying to figure out how to work the camera and do this at the same time. Whatever, little growing
A
pains.
little bit of struggle juggle. It happens. Growing
Sorry.
pains, struggle juggle. I like struggle juggle. I'm going to start using that now.
Ooh, I like that one too, actually.
Struggle juggle t-shirts
Ooh, that
will
could
be
be fun.
coming soon.
Keep it out of the bungle jungle, though.
Oh, keep yourself out of my bungle jungle, sir.
Oof, no, thank you.
Oof. That's another one. That's another one of those terms that just sounds dirty. Bungle jungle.
I know. Gee, Lord.
I don't know. Have you used a must pump yet? Did you put a must pump in your bungle jungle? Because I won't go down on a bungle jungle unless there's been a must pump up in there first.
Absolutely.
I'm a gentleman, sir.
Well, I've heard from a friend of mine that if she's been up for 3 days, there's no poop in that butt.
That's a proven
fact.
fact.
Yeah.
Proven fact.
Shout out to Beans.
Yep. We'll probably see him soon enough on one of these.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. It's going to happen.
So, yeah, we're looking to get new guests. The three of us. We're the Howley Boys crew. We're going to be rocking this. This chewed up and spit out from here until the next apocalypse. So hit us up on our fucking Facebooks and stuff if you want to be a guest. We're going to figure out how to do virtual shit this Sunday. So next week's episode will be featuring Mike, who is cook, bartender, and yoga dude during this whole quarantine thing.
Right.
So
Oh.
An all-around good fellow, basically.
all
Heck
around
yes.
good fellow.
Triple threat.
Yeah. Look for links to his bearded beer yoga. I'll be posting those on the Howley Boys website. Get him some fucking publicity and shit. Until next time, we'll catch you later. I'm Dusty,
I'm Tim, a.k.a. The Fat Chef.
Still Jeff.
and we're out.